Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hearthstone Meta Hype. And I'm here with Ecor, and we are going to talk about what's coming up in Fractured in Alterac Valley. Ecor, are you excited, man?
No, I'm not. I think this expansion looks garbage. Terrible, even. Probably the worst expansion to have ever come out with Hearthstone. Honest
Okay,
opinion.
hold on. Let's get the real Ecor in here. No, wait, actually, we have the real Ecor. Let's get the real Ecor in here, though. Are you excited for the expansion? Yes, you are. I know you are.
Absolutely, yes.
Did you see segment 1 where Ecor was ecstatic? I mean, the guy is just out of his mind. He's like, I can't believe it. It's just going to be so good. There's going to be control, all of this stuff. So I got to ask you about that, though, because when we were talking in segment 1, the control aspect, I mean, do you really think that the way to beat a quest is through control?
That's the problem. This is the thing I was talking about at the end of our segment, my segment, I guess, was that there are a lot of new, powerful, good cards, but are they proactive enough? Are they good enough to dethrone the quests? And like for Warrior, they're getting a 3-mana 2/4 taunt, meaning that gives them more taunts. They're getting a new removal card, some good armor, a kind of defensive new hero. Why would that be better than just playing a proactive hero quest that gets you infinite value turn 7, right? Or Warlock. Yes, there's some cool new control cards, there's some cool Death Rattle synergy cards, and obviously a new hero that can get you theoretically an endless amount of 3/3 imps, but why would that be better than just guaranteed winning the game turn 11 with fatigue, or turn 12 or something at the latest?
Yeah. Exactly.
And even though I think that control will be better, and if a board-based meta does arise, like here's what I think will happen, right? Because everything there's like a cycle, right? If there are no aggro decks, combo decks like Warlock will kind of combo control decks, I guess. Like Warlock will be strong, but like Demon Hunter, let's just say aggro Demon Hunter becomes a thing. Because they have multiple cards that are like if minions died, or if you have more minions in the board, gain extra attack. Druid looks like it's going to be more tempo-based with Beasts. Hunter has always been aggressive. Paladin has always been kind of board-based. Like, and then there's Rogue with Death Rattle, so it's probably going to push that archetype as opposed to just like combos. And then Shaman's going to be kind of control-ish. So all of these things are pushing more towards a board-based meta that like could potentially be more proactive in general, which might push quests out. But it is all determined by how powerful these things are, just in general.
Yeah. I think that like one of the cards that's really cool though for the Shaman is Brucon of the Elements, which is the hero card. And that is one that could potentially replace the quest. The reason being is because the quest is good in Shaman, but it's also kind of like it's been nerfed, and possibly maybe the intention of the developers and the way the Hearthstone's going is that they will nerf the quests again just to slow them down a little bit, and perhaps they're coming. What do you think about that aspect? Do you think that there's a chance that they'll nerf the quest cards again?
Not for a while. I think that after they release the new cards, they'll probably not do any nerfs for at least 2 weeks, and then usually, at least from what I've seen, after like expansions or mini set, after 2 weeks, they'll do like a slight balance change. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, depending on how powerful things are right out of the gate. So if there is any sort of change, it won't come for at least another month. And then even then, they might focus on nerfing some of the more powerful new cards and leave the quests untouched. And even if they do nerf the quests, the only one that I think needs to be adjusted, really, is the Warlock one. I think that it's still just too consistent. Warrior is also fairly strong. I just think that it's because some of the pirates are a little bit overtuned, and you can gain a ton of tempo throughout the game, and then you finish the quest, and then you just get infinite value. I don't think the quest is necessarily as powerful. I think it's some of just the fact that they buffed 3 pirates like 2 weeks before they came out with the new cards, and then they came out with 2 new really strong pirates to improve the pool for the Juggernaut and just make it more consistent to finish in the first place. So that's really my thing. I think that Warlock quest needs a nerf, and the Warrior one maybe the pirates need a nerf in general, or maybe it itself needs a nerf. But other than that, I think the quests are in a pretty decent spot. Like the shaman one is still playable. The rogue one is surprisingly good and playable. And the hunter one sees some play, although not a ton, but it is playable without being too dominant. Like, I think other than those 2 quests that I mentioned right at the beginning, the rest are fairly well balanced, actually.
Well, you know what's crazy about when the meta comes up, like this particular one that I was looked into, and I just wanted to just clarify this first, is right when Fractured in Alterac Valley comes into place, we're going to have not 3, not 5, but 6 sets of cards in there. And we'll be playing with 6 sets of cards until March or April, when the next expansion comes out and when the new year. Right now, we're in Year of the Griffin, so they'll be introducing a new year next year, obviously, and then those expansion cards will come out, and those will be, I believe, will be Ashes of Outland, Scholomance, and Madness at the Dark Moon Fair, right? Those will come out. So we have about 3 months of playing with the quests as they are, right? Because a lot of the cards that synergize in the quests are from Scholomance and from Madness and even Ashes of Outland. So the meta is going to be shaken up. So I think you're right. I don't think that they're really going to do much changes, because we have 3 months of just playing literally with craziness, and then the whole expansion will just need to be balanced again in March. So it's going to be good times. I think the game will be really refreshing, as it needs to be. And whenever a new expansion comes, it's always refreshing. And, you know, like 2 months, usually you get about 2 months of play. The problem with United in Stormwinds, though, is the quests were a bad idea. I think they were. So
yeah, and that's what worries me, right? Like, one bad idea this year will be with us for the rest of up till the next year from now, right? Like, yes, this is crazy, and things will be shaken up in March or early April of next year, depending on when the expansion ends up coming out. But the most problematic thing being quests, which is what everybody's pissed off about, is gonna stay with us for a while. And then I did another poll. I talk about these polls all the time. What is something that you don't like about Hearthstone? And basically I said, is it lack of interactivity, games are too fast, mana cheat, control is too strong, or other? And then most people put lack of interactivity and combos. And in the comments, which had like almost 100, the most part was like, quests make the game non-interactive, quests are too consistent, quests allow for games to be too fast. And yeah, so at the root of the 2 biggest problems, which is what 77% of people are upset about, at least those who are verbalizing in the comments say that the culprit is the quests. And so the most problematic thing staying in the meta for the next year, more than a year actually, because we still have to go through 1 year and then like a little bit of March to April as well, just makes me a little bit worried. And hopefully down the road they'll like adjust them some more if they become too powerful and they're like, okay, people really dislike quests, maybe we'll just nerf them to be fairly unplayable or really weak, and just like push it under the rug, you know, because you can't get rid of it necessarily. Or they do what they do with like Baku and Jen Greymane or whatever, where they Hall of Fame them 1 year early because they absolutely dominated the meta and people did not like them. I wouldn't mind that either. And then when they did do that, I think they came out with a couple new legendaries to make up for that. So when they rotate the year out, they'll do that. Maybe Hall of Fame all those cards real quick because everybody hates them. Well, not everybody, but like the majority of people hate them. In every single poll, it's been quests are a problem.
Right.
But they'll do that, and then instead of releasing 135 cards, they'll release like 145 with having 1 new legendary for each class to make up for the quests that they took out, and that could end up being a pretty good thing in my opinion. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know what their plans are. Obviously, I don't have don't work at Blizzard. That's just something that I think that they should do and would be pretty well received if they were to do it.
I agree with you. And one of the things is the poll that you're talking about. I answered on that poll, and I voted for Mana Cheat, and I actually made a comment there.
Mana Cheat is a problem as well.
And I don't really want to get into it because it would be like an entire episode, and maybe we can do that next time. We could talk about it, or the next segment or whatever. I mean, some other time. But yeah, Mana Cheat is a problem because Mana Cheat stems all of it. It makes the quest worse. Mana Cheat, in the Warlock quest is the giants. The Flesh Giant is 0 mana. The Mage is your cost of spells is 0 mana, and there's all kinds of things that is about Mana Cheat. But I don't want to really get into that. What I want to talk about though is the idea that I do believe that the track record of Team 5 has changed when they did Hall of Fame, Baku, and Gen. So if you don't like the quest, there is hope, I think, that they will be Hall of Famed or put into Wild or whatever it may be. The reason why is because the community has a voice that Team 5 is listening to. There has been some new people that have gotten involved in the management. The community manager, who is now Alkali Lake, she's really, really proactive in talking to creators and listening to the community. She's able to sift out the noise and deal with some of the loud, obnoxious people, and she has respect. So she's kind of a voice to the developers, and I think she has a good relationship with those people over there. So there's good lines of communication. And if quests are really the problem, then I think they will be solved in the right manner. And it's only a test of time. We'll see. But I agree with you again. I don't think that they'll come out of the meta like right in the first 3 months. I think any chance that the quest will be changed will probably be in whatever next year's expansion is going to be. The Year of the Dragon again, perhaps. The Year of the Elementals. The Year of the E-Core. The Year of the VengaDragon. Whoever it is, whatever it is, I just gotta always tell you what I always tell you guys. No matter what you do, as I always say, stay hype, and we'll see you next week.